Hello, how are you, man?
Doing well, man. Oh, as you can tell, I'm in like hardcore editing mode right now. So, yeah, I'm looking amazing right now.
Yeah, yeah, I feel amazing and look also amazing. All kind of crazy stuff, man. I don't know. It's like everybody's going through some stuff. Can you hear that? Is that distracting? Do you know what that is? You
Mm-mm.
can't hear that?
Uh-uh. Oh my God.
Look, it's little Orsia. And what look, tell the people. Look, oh look, I taught her how to blow kisses. Ain't that nice? So this is little Sia, little Sia. And if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, well, I'm going to Dallas, right? I'm hanging out with my peeps in Dallas, and I've been practicing because I don't know. I know this is a bad idea, but when I see Sia for the first time in person, I just imagine that I'd run over and pick her up like a little bitty baby and just rock her and just so happy. This has been a whole like 16 months, man. Like so, Michael Gale has been getting me pumped up. We'll talk about him in a minute. Um, but yeah, that's you know you're a little taller, but I think I can do it, and I think you'll be receptive to it. If not, then I'm going to get beat up by you and your like 8 foot tall boyfriend. So it's been a while since I've had a sparring. It's okay.
At least you're lucky. He's a nice guy. So he'd probably like high five you for like, yeah, take her off my hands, please.
Maybe I ought to get that in writing first because I don't I don't know. I'm uh I'm almost 40. Oh my gosh, 42. When all the cute hey, when do you think my birthday is? Yeah, let's see how much you pay attention.
Oh, oh boy. You know I'm the
Come
guy
on,
in this
man.
relationship, Mike. You know this, right? I'm the guy
Yeah.
in this relationship.
All
Okay,
right.
why don't we make that a poll? Like whoever can actually guess Mike's birthday will get an opportunity to have a one-on-one with Mike. How about that? Boom.
Yeah, I'll give you kudos, man, for just the birth month. But it's a real distinct date. It's a real distinct date. Um, Go ahead and roll the outro or intro. Go ahead and roll it, and then we'll do some announcements and see if anybody even cares about what my birth month or day is.
I don't know. I think
I
everyone's
wouldn't.
okay, everyone. So we're gonna do the intro. Everyone in the audience, type the month and guess the date of Mike's birthday. Here we go.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
You're such
Dude,
a dork. You guys,
he was back
he is
there
literally
dancing.
holding that baby like up and down like during the whole intro. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, little Sia has got some skill. Um, I'll bring this to you because this is actually custom. This is not the outfit that went on the baby. So I will bring you one. All right, just for you. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So if I can get this through TSA, maybe. All right. So what do we got on the docket here? I know this show is fun. If anybody's seen, my buddy's here. So I mean, it's always next level. And I'm glad she's here. All of them are here. I got lots of buddies, but um it's been a hard week. Everybody's been like Eeyore and
It's
storms and sickness and oh my gosh, man. And I tell you, that makes it so much better to have friends and people you work with and do business with all in the same, gamut, right? I don't have to run around and try to find friends and business people. It's amazing that the amount of business being done with the Hounds community on LinkedIn, it's insane because we've seen the worst of each other. And that's the kind of stuff you don't want to show other people. I mean,
no.
honestly, if other people seen that kind of shit in your life, they probably won't be handing you $1 million deals. I mean, and that's how we think and perceive it. But that's not true. People that's why I couldn't stand Facebook for the longest time. Still don't, because everybody's life was perfect. It was perfect. Like you never looked and saw like a clogged toilet, like what really happens. You just think that your life sucks because everybody else is always on vacations and blah blah blah. And boy, we dispel that myth. Like we know each other's crap, and we don't. we don't abandon people for that, right? We lean into that, um, and we help each other rise, and we do business faster this way, right? Does that make sense? Not just kumbaya, good, happy heart sense, but doesn't that make good business sense that if I can help other people get out of their funk and shit quicker, then we can all do business better, faster. You did that for me last week. Hounds did that for me last week. I was going through so much. Y'all had a blast. Uh, Brian Sagre was out at MIB style as an alien. That was great with his mic and stuff. But he did a fantastic job. And that's the Redneck Camelot I've been spending 16 months building. And these ladies are really, they personify that. So I can't wait to get them up here. But let me drop two announcements real quick from great pack leaders. Uh, who's the first one? Is it Michael Gale?
Yes, let's
That our
definitely
giant?
choose Mike. Our gentle giant. Well, it's so funny the way you groupie for him. It's really kind of it's really cute. I think it's very sweet how much you bromance with him.
Well, what have we been doing? I've been doing Pilates with him twice a day for what, 8, 12 weeks? It's been a while. And
Wow.
people are just now realizing that this is real. They thought it was a joke. I put it the short up, and they thought it was a joke. I'm really doing redneck Pilates, man. Trademark pending, right? Uh, but this guy is the real deal. All I do is sit around, you know, trying to crush through and break through new ideas and new concepts that I'm unfamiliar with. And 40, almost 42. I don't have time to waste, right? I need to get my body in shape or it won't be there. And he made good sense. He makes good sense. He has fun. The thing about him is that he works with people that have excuses and reasons. You know, well, I don't have the time. That can be legitimate if you're building a business and you can't let go, or you're the only salesperson in your organization, blah, blah, blah. If that's you, first of all, you need to be talking to people and trying to outsource some of that. All right. So
True.
talk to people, number one. But I know it takes time because I'm in that same boat. But Michael Gale is good about building around your schedules. All right. It taking an hour out of my day. I thought, well, hell, that's an hour, 2 hours out of the week that I'm not going to get paid. My productivity has went up because I feel better. I don't hurt as much. I sleep better. I'm in a better mood. So all that being said, if my redneck self can do Pilates and feel better, what's stopping you? So he's got April 17th. Mark your calendar. Go to his website or go to his LinkedIn. Go to his website. Uh, April 17th. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. So there's plenty of time to schedule out. It will be fun. And if I'm not on an airplane, I'll be there. And he yelled at me last time, which made it like icing on the cake. He didn't really yell at me, but I was supposed to be in Downward Dog, and I was asking about T-shirts, right? So it was a blast. We had a great ball. Show up, be curious, get to know some great folks, and this guy's not just doing like testers; he's giving the real deal. All right, we did some real core exercises. Uh, so show up for Michael Gale, and then last but not least is one of our newest buddies, Stephanie Delfonso, who has been putting this course together with Maven.com. And so it's here. It's here. You have to register by April 12th because the day after, April 13th, is when the live training begins. All right. And this lady, if you haven't seen her, man, she is awesome. She is great. Her book is great. She's good just to have a conversation with. She put all the people she hypnotized, what, twice now on the shows. Um, she's the
Her
real.
voice is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a reason why radio voices exist. Like she has it. Like she has honed that in. Like it's like authentic. It's not like an affect. It's like her voice. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and what she says, how she says it, she's the real deal. She's just a real person, and that's why I'm excited about her course. So she has scholarship. This is on the honor system, okay? So the course itself is 297. That's the full price for the course, and it is in a comprehensive course. But there's scholarships because people are job lost. People are going through stuff, and this is, if you're going through trying to find a job and you're laid off or you have a lot of things hitting you, don't feel bad, man. We all have those. So on the honor system, if you use the coupon code scholarship50 or scholarship75, depending on how severe it is, you can take this whole course for as low as $59.40. Um, if you can't afford it, do it. But if you are, struggling right now, invest in yourself. I mean, if you're jobless, I know what you're going through because you're worried and you're anything but calm. Right. So that's the intention behind this. Guys, I was skeptical when I met her. I've told her story. Um, she, what she's told me works, and that's all I care about. I don't care. It can sound like whatever it sounds like, can sound weird and unfamiliar. But as soon as I started doing her techniques, it started working. And what makes better sense, having more peace of mind and calm, or run around like a big macho man nobody likes? So, all that being said, at least buy the book, go check out the course. You won't be sorry. In my opinion, I haven't been. All right. So, Stephanie, we appreciate you. Um, she is a blast. And let's see.
Yeah, no.
Look, I done
So
messed up
everyone,
my.
so I actually purposely did not put the promo codes up there, because I want people to really make the effort for it, right? And she is doing, and she is offering the honor system. So if you do want to join and you are going to take advantage of it, hit me up. I'll say hit Sia up, hit Mike up, hit Stephanie up. You got her ibringcalm.com, and we'll be happy to share that. Or if anyone wants to share it in the comments, that's fine. But I'm kind of the, yes, when someone offers something like that, as gracious as she is, sometimes I believe that you have to put an effort to get that promo code because you'll really appreciate it. So I'm kind of being a hard nose. I did not share the promo code, but maybe someone else want to. That's your prerogative. So I'm in
Yeah.
Sia mommy mode on that one.
Yeah. It makes two of you. The little Sia was agree. She said, "That gummit, don't be lazy." That's right. You sit down,
Uh-oh.
bad baby.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. Oh, you know what's coming up. Boom.
Oh, little Sia said, "Dad gummit, that you ought to take 2 sips now." Look at me. I can't wait to pick me up, Mike. All right.
You're
So,
such a dork. You're such a dork.
yeah,
Let's get going,
man,
my friend. Oh
so
my God, you're
dorky.
killing me, Smalls.
All right. Oh, last little thing. If you heard about my buddy Raquel Flores, Raquel's Connection Corner, is that Saturday? Do we have a time yet, or is it just Saturday right now?
It's Saturday for now. I think we're confirming up. I'm
Okay.
getting Raquel is going to confirm with me the time. Rocky,
There
what
she
time are we
is.
doing? It's either going to be like either 10, 11, or 4. Those 3 hours tend to be the ones that we typically go with. Like, but we'll figure it out.
She doesn't have a problem pulling in a crowd, so like, and her
No.
shows are spot on. They really are. I mean, so many people. If I was petty, I'd be mad that they went on her show first. Like I'm
You are
pulling out
petty.
her. I am. Well, but I'm pulling her guest after her show because they're so awesome. So it's actually making it easy. But yeah, her heart and what she's doing to push people up and helping us as the hounds, right? I'm not the only leader of this thing. There's plenty of pack leaders. So when you guys tell me where to go and what shows to show up for and who I should be saying hi to or paying attention to, man, that is wonderful. That really helps me because there's too many daggum people to keep up with, especially when you're getting old. So it's really nice when I have you guys say, "Hey, show up." That's how we met Johanna, right? That's how we met all these great folks, and just meeting people who introduce you to people who work with people, and now we got this panel. So let's bring them on. Let's bring on the first lady. All right, the one that got all this stuff started, and this is fun because I really never got to talk to her. I've been on Supermom's stuff before, but let's bring on Misty Lee. And well, welcome to the Hounds of Business, Misty Lee. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Mike. How are you?
Oh my goodness, I'm fair to middling, I guess. Well, first of all, you're not even hardly on LinkedIn. Let's be real. You're going to start being on LinkedIn, right? Because I'm not going to let you. We're going to pester you until you do. But
Right.
um, you're just a little firestorm. So I knew Lachelle, and through Lachelle, and then Constance, CJ, and then all of a sudden, all these awesome people start popping up, like Nicole and you and Rochelle and all these folks. So, how in the world did you meet Supermom and friends and all the people that you've gathered around? How did you even meet these people, if not
I've
LinkedIn?
been following the little tokens in my life. I wanted to publish a few years ago and I just didn't know how. That started the topic. I didn't know how. And I found out most people didn't know how. So I wanted to learn and I put together a little book with some friends of mine and it became a #1 bestseller. So I thought, okay, I think we know how. So we did another one and we got better at it. And then through one of those, I was on a television show on the E360 network and I met Supermom. and got invited to do her second season on Real Life on Zondra's network. So I invited her to write with me in our current anthology, which we just released, which was Now What? And I work with her and Rochelle. So they authored with me on this one. And we were on a LinkedIn show. And again, yes, I'm baby stepping in. And Nicole was on a panel with us. And so she stayed in after the chat. And I'll let her tell the story. It wasn't that long ago, but she just stayed in and we were having a conversation. So we invited her in. And it's kind of like we realized how that marketing, that spider web grows. It was also growing in people who had things that they wanted to talk about. They just didn't know how. And so, America's Supermom is all about collaboration. So I figured out how to make it where 40 people can publish at one time, retain all their rights, and become bestsellers. And we became a very powerful superstorm of authors. And we just did it again 2 weeks ago. So, and here we are, all of us on your panel today.
Yeah, unbelievable. And Nicole,
unbelievable
well,
is right.
Did it get a recognition or something? Didn't it get international title or something already? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Now What became international in the United States and Canada. We were in spiritual and motivational transformation, personal growth, self-help. We many, many different categories we placed as bestseller, new release, and bestseller. And it was a very successful and beautiful launch. But it was just the power of all 40 people coming together, again, collaborating rather than one person trying to get the whole world to pay attention on one day. We had 40 different pods of people just sharing a little bit of a message. And it's taken off. And then the network that's happened within the authors, which is why I'm sitting here with you today, is because we keep just introducing each other to one more person. And it's really turned into a beautiful global network of authors helping authors. So, and I'm blessed. When I tell you, I was literally living in the woods a year ago, off grid, just not sure what I was going to do next, like for a job. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I'm like, well, I'd love doing this. So I decided that's what I would do. And here we are. So
yeah. And here we are. And that's the whole daggum reason that we exist here. It's not knowing what to do, having fear, never being encouraged to do anything special. People telling you, you didn't go to the right city, wrong gender, wrong color, blah, blah, blah. And it's not true. This is not true unless you let it be true. And that's
right.
the whole key. When I'm surrounded by all these people, I can't get a negative thought out because they'll be coming at me like, dude, there's too many opportunities. And this is not a show about Arthur, because I've had 50, publisher type Arthur books. What's striking about this is this was just an idea, and people being at the right place at the right time, good leadership, passion, it just kind of snowballed. And Nicole, that was the fun part. She told me 4 weeks, like right when she got into the Hounds, right when me and her started working together. She said, "I'll think I might want to write and maybe get paid if I can." And then 4 weeks later, I'm published in a book, right? And I'm like, is she smoking something? What is wrong with her? But it was true. And I had no idea you ladies were doing this. So I want everybody out there to know, well, what's the Hounds? Look, it's it's a culture and it's the right people. I'd put her
Exactly.
in there. She knew what to do. She just ran around and did what winners do and looking for opportunities and reaching out and talking to people, putting herself out there with courage, right? Not confidence, right? Nicole does not care if she looks goofy or not. She does not care. And that would be why she got published in a week, right? Because she put herself out there and don't care. All right. So how did you what did the inspiration for this idea come from? Because when I look at your book, it reminded me of like Reader's Digest and devotionals, those kind of short sayings, right? What sparked this, and how long ago did this idea pop in your head to fruition? Like, what's caused this?
So this all started a year ago, just a year and a month ago, this started. And from there, I was only working with women. And I actually was in a meditation, and I got a sign that it was time for me to work with both. And I got a very clear picture of a cover of the book. And I did an anthology called Align based on that. And from there, I was doing some one-on-one coaching with clients who had been through other high dollar coaching, but were not holding their goals. They were sliding back. And so that question was, okay, you made this goal. How do you hold it? Now what? Like, now you've lost the weight. I've lost over 100 pounds. And so people say, well, how do you hold it? Now what? You gain the money. Now what? You lost the job. Now what? Something bad happened. Now what? So that just became a common thread in every conversation I was having. So to me, that's a really nice sign for me to pay attention. And that means there's more than one of us that needed to hear that message. So I just threw the idea out and said, how do you feel about just now what? This happened, now what? And everybody I spoke to almost exclusively said, you won't believe I just wrote that. I just asked that. I just prayed about that. Or somehow they had just had that feeling, and we had the chills and all that. So that's how I know that's very woo-woo, but that's how I get them. I kind of pay attention to what's going on in the most common thread that I hear. And then I just say, hey, should we write about this? Because that seems to be something going on. And it's worked now. That was our 5th one. And they've all been international bestsellers, or at least #1 bestsellers in multiple countries. So I feel like I'm being really blessed that I decided what I wanted to do for a living. And it had nothing to do with a job title or an income. I knew I wanted to care for my disabled son. I wanted to experience nature. I want to write. I want to read. And I want to help authors spread the word. And I made that intention. I made that decision. And then I just, like you said, I paid attention to people who were collaborating for expansion and for growth and for service. And the authors came to me in exactly the right timing. It's the right tribe.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. That's what I loved about the Hounds, is that they're so supportive. It's not what you're doing that you're supporting the person. Like, you support me. Mary supports me. You support me. You didn't ask why, when we met, why I need to stay home with my son. You just supported the deal, supported the book, come on the show. So yeah, I love it. I love it. The collaboration is the key for me.
Yeah, and that's the key. Supermom. I'm like, hey, Lachelle, who is all these people? Well, I didn't even need to. I was like, okay, she's on the show. Like, like, why would I not? Right? Why would I not want to be associated and help push that to other people? You're making big things happen. But here's what I love about it. It's not even just to get more coaching. Everybody that's on this show, especially you group of ladies, you really do use this as a vehicle to get your message to other people. That's what it's about. You're using this as a way to get people uh, multiple avenues to get better self and overcome whatever crap they're dealing with. Now what, right? Like, that's been my mantra all year since December 2nd. Like, okay, I fixed this. Now what? Like, oh, this happened. Yeah. So we can all relate to it. So let me bring the other ladies on. But before I do, you have a lot of different stuff. You help people, you publish, you do a lot of things. Do you do coaching as well?
I do author coaching and what I call writing coaching, using writing to get through something or get to something if you're kind of in a stuck position. So not traditional life coaching, although it kind of sometimes turns into that, but mine are more short term. I'm just giving you the skills to use writing to get yourself out of the rut. I do that, but we also put on writing retreats here. I live in a beautiful oasis in Western Arkansas. So I put on little weekend writing retreats for people who want to unplug and create.
So best place to find it is your website. Is that where people should go? Where should they go to learn more about you and your offerings and all these things that you can maybe help them with?
I'm going to say LinkedIn, Misty Wriston, because I'm going to be coming there a lot more now. But and then Facebook, I am Campground TBD Publishing, and then I'm campgroundtbdpublishing.com. But right now, Facebook is the easiest way to get me as I move into LinkedIn rather quickly.
Or you can just bother me and Lachelle, and we'll go track her down.
That's right. They always know where I'm at.
Yeah. And you really are very much behind the scenes. You're always pushing up other people. And that's what I had to weed through all these people to find you. I said, who's the spider in the web? And of course, Lachelle was like, oh, that's Misty Lee. And I've seen you around, right? So, hey, appreciate your heart pushing up other people, doing good. And I hope you all do. I hope you all make tons of money, because that's why people pay you. The more value and goodness you can bring to others, the more money your ass should make. And I don't have a problem. I have a problem with putting profits before people and acting like you don't. That's what I have a problem with. But nobody here is like that. So this is what makes it popular. This is why my audience is fancy, because people like you guys doing extraordinary things, record-breaking type of stuff, but all for the right reasons. So we appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're gonna bring on who we gonna pick on first? Who should we pick on? Lachelle or is it Rochelle? Because I can't say her name. I don't know what the A and the R. Yeah, it screws me up. Yeah, there she is. Is Rochelle? Is that say it right?
Rochelle.
Rochelle. I'm overthinking it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a Lachelle, Rochelle. Now we need a Michelle, like on dodgeball. Remember Michelle? Anyway, I'm showing my age. How are you today?
Are you asking?
Rochelle. Yep.
Oh, for me, I wasn't sure which Shell you were
I
talking
pointed.
to.
You couldn't tell. Yeah. Oh, it's been a long ass week.
No, it's all moving. I'm good. I'm good. And how about you?
Good, good. Goofy as normal. But I got super mom here, man. She last time, no, it was the time before last, where she was at running around at the grocery store. Or it looked like she was at the grocery store at Christmas, but she was actually, yeah, and I look like a bad guy because she was actually taking time out of her child's recital to hang out with me. And I'm giving her crap about being at the mall at Christmas. Yeah, so go watch that one. I got booed so bad. So
That was the
did
premiere
you-
show, wasn't it? Wasn't that the premiere?
yeah, I think so. It was.
So
they had
I'm
a lot
never
of
going to
people
live
watching.
that down. I'm never going to live that down.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you so awesome though. Everybody, even Dina, I got nervous. Dina Lefkowitz like threatened me. She told me no. I said, oh goodness. So, how did you meet? That's what I want to know. How did you all meet? Because this is telling stuff. People are running
Mhm.
around networking and trying to do business, and just by being at the right place at the right time, birds of a feather, y'all connected,
Mhm.
and you wrote this awesome thing,
Yeah.
which has really caught attention. Uh, yeah, I can't wait to read it. I've got a waiting list, but I can't wait to read it, and I love every one of y'all. So,
Mhm.
Rochelle, how did you meet? I know y'all gonna say Supermom, but how did you all band together before this book came a possibility, a reality?
Well, actually, Lachelle and I were in a couple little virtual online programs, I think back in 2019. And that's where we got the hook, the Shell sisters, because it was Lachelle and Rochelle. And we had talked a lot about different platforms and different things. She at the time had her podcast. I was looking at pivoting to a podcast because of COVID was coming, that whole process.
Mhm.
And then, I just got an email from her one day, and she said, I'd like to collaborate. And I was like, on board. Definitely. A lot of stuff had happened in my life where I was ready to get back into it. And then Misty came into the picture, and the three of us just really vibed. And I think it was like we get on the meetings, we start talking, and then we're like, oh, there's some good conversation going on here. We should take this live and then get other people on and get them to add their 2 cents.
Right.
So I think that from my perspective, that's how it all kind of morphed. And, as it gets bigger and bigger, the conversation changes. More people want to come and share their opinions. And it is all about sharing people's opinions.
Yeah, and you're on the ones with the men's panel, right? That's how I met you, where I saw you there with the men's
Yes.
panel and the men talking about being open and vulnerable and things. That's what I love about it. And Supermom don't play. She don't shy away from hard topics. I probably should, but I don't because she encourages me to keep going. Because how are we going to make anything better if we don't try it, right? I think again the difference is there grown-ups at the table or the kids still hanging around? That's where I think makes a difference. So you all set the stage where I only see mature audience, people who are trying to understand, trying to, broaden their horizons. That's who y'all bring to the table. Because if somebody was there to cause trouble, man, Supermom go medieval on them, right? So she can. She don't like to get rough, but then we got Nicole. We'll stick Nicole on them. Yeah, she ain't playing. She will hurt somebody. Yeah, I know. So speaking of Nicole and Rochelle, we appreciate it. We'll get back to everybody, and I'm going to get some y'all this talking because I want to know what sparked the heart of all this. Because people can go read the book. I want to know this thing was lightning speed, and I know some kind of behind the scenes stuff you all may divulge, may not. Um, but Nicole, we've done sung your prayer. You done broke your knee, done spun it around. You have been through hell in a handbasket. And all of the good things that's happened in your life pretty much came out of some of the crappiest crap you could ask for, right? Is that not an accurate statement?
100%. And that's exactly what inspired my chapter, which was basically losing one to find another. And that's exactly what happened. I lost that ability to walk for maybe let's say 8 weeks. And in that time, everything that I love to do just came pouring out of me. And I found the funnel. I attended that Valentine's Day live show that Lachelle invited me to the night before. And it was only my second live, so I was nervous as crap. And I went on, and these ladies made me feel very welcome. They're very warm. And at the end of the show, which, we're already all talking about love, so we're already in this like lovey-dovey mood. Um, Mr. Lee just being Mr. Lee and like she says, her woo self, um, started talking about her book and what it was about and, overcoming personal adversity. And right away, I just, I took to her and I took to her idea. So trust me, when she said, "Do you want to put a chapter?" And I went, "What? Wait, hold on, me?" I can tell you. I have to wonder sometimes, was I necessarily going down the path looking for this, or did somebody put me on this path for a reason? Somebody probably being that guy up there. So, yeah, 6 weeks. That was about what it was.
Dude, your whole life, I mean, from dadgummit, it had to be since December to watch you progress and what happened. And again, it was me. This is how I met you. And then you got connected with Supermom, who built, a John Norman spider web network. It's funny because you were with Gabe Leal. And here's how I met Gabe. So my show stats came out, and I was so naive because Hounds of Business ain't that old. I think we came out August or something at the earliest, latest. So my show stats, I saw them, so I sent them to Gabe Leal, the king of LinkedIn Live, and I was like, "Hey Gabe, are these good numbers?" And he called me in like 5 seconds. I was like, "Well, they must be good," because he called me quick, right? That's how naive. But you were on his show all the time. You watched him, you supported him, and then you started coming to mine, right? And I felt bad. You remember because Gabe's show started when my show was supposed to end, but I talked too daggone much. So then
Yeah.
Gabe would start his show and nobody be here because they were still at my show, and he brought them to me in the first place. So anyway, it's fun because just showing up, there's too much scientific stuff. Look, everybody wants a case study and a playbook that's so to the T that when I do this and this will result in sales, man, I'm sorry. That's not that makes your hair fall out. What happens here is that we're doing things, we're being smart, we're making plans, but we're also leaving it up for that 70% art that it takes, just being out there, opportunities, people that can open doors. This is what this is about, right? Um, Supermom. Supermom been way too quiet. This is the second or third time you've been on my show. All right. Not at the store or not at the recital. And nobody's broke your door down. And I am so
It's some
proud. This is
background
cool.
noise, but we just keep it moving. That's why I was on mute. I was enjoying the conversation, but I just want to highlight first, I want to thank everybody that's watching. I'm not the most tech savvy with the comments and the being on the show. So I just want to acknowledge that. And I thank everybody for their kind words. This has just been awesome. I still am like pinching myself because I told somebody last week, I was like, I didn't stay up real late the night before. I didn't feel stressed or overworked. I slept like a baby, and you wake up and you're an international bestseller. And I think it just is a testament of, really staying in your lane and connecting with people that are great at what they do. And it ends up working a masterpiece. But one thing I want to highlight about this connection is one is the power of staying connected to people. So, part of this collaboration is Rochelle and I, we met some time ago, but we always stayed in contact with each other. So, when people are talking about email lists and staying abreast of what other people are doing, that is something that is so important. I would always still introduce people to her and vice versa. So that's one part of the collaboration. The second thing is, as a mom, lots of stuff going on in the background. You always have to show up. And so I was scheduled to do a LinkedIn audio. And I have been doing this series for some time. And then I was supposed to be on someone else's live show. So my LinkedIn audio goes on because I didn't put it on my calendar. Okay.
Oh,
And the person whose show I was on, which is connected to Misty, he sends me a message and it's like, "You're supposed to be on the show." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." So, as the LinkedIn audio host, you can't give that control to somebody else. So, I had to keep the room open with my phone on silent in the background on the tripod while I was on the show live. Well, this show that I was on, Misty was able to watch. And so I told him at the end that I was, looking for guests to join me on my second season. And she reached out to me, and I hadn't even met her at the time. And within a couple days, we were deciding to collaborate and then meeting each other in Texas. And then with Nicole, I take everything that I put out in social media very seriously because, I went through that depression myself. So every comment that I get, every like, I take time to put that in a nurture campaign. And so if someone likes it, I still will send them a message, at least once a week to acknowledge them. And so with her, she made a comment, and I was like, well, do you want to be on the show? Do you have a picture? We
right.
can put you on the show. And she said yes, and the rest is history. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to go through that, the power of collaboration.
Yeah, and you're the queen of it. That's why I'm over here trying to get you more visible. Because I mean, the only reason most people won't flock to you is because they can't see you, right? You're like somebody
Mhm.
painting a Picasso in a cave, right? The lights are off. We got to put that spotlight on because when people see you all, they love it. And that's kind of what I'm, putting my big old nose, getting nosy, right? Just trying to make sure that goes because y'all do such good stuff, man. And y'all are professionals. You work hard. I mean, you're very humble, but y'all doing a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
some of
you're
you
a
have
big
already
part
told
of
me
that
that.
too. You're a big part. I mean, you have definitely created a men following. We started this thing with the men's panel, and we thought, oh, we do a segment for, Valentine's Day for love. And it's like a whole community now. And so
Yeah.
I do send people your way, men, because I think that it's important. This is opening up some of those hard conversations that people are having. And I would like for them to have a place where they can land and be able to continue it and keep that momentum. And then you mentioned King G. I call him, it's Gabe. I call him King G. I've known him from Clubhouse. And so I just did a post about him today. But, it takes everybody helping each other and supporting each other, because we have so many different things that we can bring to the table.
Yes, ma'am. And by the way, Gabe, Gabi, yeah. So he's
I
like
call him King
LinkedIn
G.
live stream
Okay. He's
Beetlejuice.
King
Say his
G
name
to
three
me.
times. King, he say he'll pop out Showtime. It just yeah.
I'm
All right.
giving him a shout out. So I don't know if he's watching, but yeah.
Oh, if you say his name again, he'll hear it. Yeah, yeah.
But are
Him and
you going to
Becky
meet
same way.
him when you go to Texas? Are you going to connect with him?
I hope so. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to rent out a stadium or something. There's so
Yeah,
many
you need to
people.
reach out to him.
Um, yeah, I think he knows. I don't know. You know who I gave the itinerary to? Sia. That's my
Yeah, she'll
little man
send it
text.
to her.
Yeah, she can run multi companies, man. She don't need she can work out a schedule. All right. So I heard some of you all talk about this, but I want if you can tell us the title of your chapter, but what motive don't tell us about the chapter because we want you to buy the daggone book, right? But what was it in your life? Was it a challenge and inspiration? What was it that made you pick? You could have picked hundreds and thousands of subjects, right? Like that could be your answer. Like, how did you even figure one? Like, how do you pick one that you're supposed to put in a book like this? So whoever wants to take it, let's Rochelle's
I'll go
been
first.
quiet.
You set me up for that. I'll go first. Because
Oh, you'll go?
mine
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
yeah, mine is day one instead of one day. So that's mine.
Day one. That was clever. That was the most clever thing you could have done. I'm gonna title my stuff day one. Wow, I'm gonna put mine Dave 1A or something, so I beat Shelby. No, damn. All right, that was evil clever. Yes, ma'am. So you just wanted to be number one in the book. All right, so let's go to Rochelle. Rochelle, what was it that? How did you land on that one subject, and what is, roughly what is it like? What is it about?
For me, well, the title is One of a Kind, and based around a lot of stuff that I do within the spiritual community, and understanding that each of us is one of a kind, and each of us has one life to live. And it is so important to follow our heart, our dreams, and not worry about everybody else. Because at the end of the day, it's you that it's important that you're happy. And so for me, it was understanding that yes, I had children that had to do things, but I wanted to understand or say, I'm one of a kind, and whatever choices I made, I have to live with, but I want to live my life because we're all very special. And that was what my chapter was about.
Perfect. Yeah, it's somebody asked me, who was it? You, Supermom, asked me if I was gonna write a book. I said, well, let me read one first, because that's what people, people, on LinkedIn are always asking you. I'm like, well, let me finally finish one, reading it, then I
Yeah.
might consider it. Maybe that's a prerequisite to writing a book. I could maybe write
Well,
some crap
if
down
you
on a
do it
napkin or
with the
something.
team, you sleep like a baby. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be one coming. I don't think I have a material for a book yet, but kind of like Michael Scott, like somehow I manage, chapter one's thick of gum, something like that's in the works. But I have no interest in writing anything right now. Um, I got more doing to do. But see, that's the thing though. You all are doing, but you're using your book as a way to get more exposure, get more people to see you. So who didn't answer that question? What is the name of your chapter, and why did you pick it?
I'll
Okay.
answer. Mine was called Giggle, and I actually asked every author to try to write about something they were going through currently. So it would be a very vulnerable piece that because sometimes over time you can kind of sugarcoat the situation a little bit. So I wanted them to really write from a today and from a I'm going through it standpoint. And so mine's about my giggle and the importance of paying attention to when my soul is or is not happy. And I love what you just said about not having something to write. What I love about what we do in these little projects is some people didn't publish. They just wrote for the sake of using the process to go through something. But these we've done 5 of these, and they've all been for charities and to support nonprofits and to support authors that would not have been able to write financially, like incarcerated authors or people coming out of incarceration. So it's a really great way to serve while also practicing your writing skills and being visible. So it's a really cool project, even not to try to entice you to write, but just for those listening, there's a way that you can use this to serve from your heart and to increase your skills of writing so that when you're ready to write your own book, you've already gone through some of the baby steps to that process. And the cultivation of that, building those author friends like we have in the book, that's also a really cool thing. So just keep that in mind in case you ever, get that twinkle.
What do they call it? Like when the dude just runs around in the ancient Roman documentaries and someone writes down the stuff he says, that's what I need. I don't want to write it down. Hey, Supermom, if I can actually make some serious money soon, what if I just pay you? I just ramble like I always do, but you write it down and make sense out of it. Can we do that?
Well,
And
well,
Mr. Lee helped me publish it.
what I did was I would transcribe a lot of my stuff. So I would just use
Yeah.
my voice notes and then just transcribe it. So a lot of people think, oh, I don't have time to write. I get that. You also can record yourself on video. So like YouTube, make it private and then get it transcribed. So, where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. And Nicole and I both are willing to hear your ramblings and content create for you from those ramblings. So there's always a will and a way. But I just wanted to come back to that beautiful service part of the project. Even if you're not ready to put your big book out, I don't want that to turn anyone off. And then Nicole didn't answer about her. Oh yeah, she did. Lizzie wanted to do another.
She did, but I would like her to do it again because I think you might have got lost. What's the title of? All right, and why that? I mean, we know, but tell us again. It's a great ass story. You can tell us 3 times. Say it again.
Well, yeah, losing one to find another. That was basically the name of my chapter, and it's because December 7th I fell and I broke my knee in 4 places at work. And then on the 16th I had to undergo major surgery, and now I have a nice hardware store in my knee. And I still have trouble walking, but I have gained so much out of having lost that. It's, writing the book, yes, but all the people I've met along my journey. And I do want to come back to Gabi. His name is Gabi, as far as I'm concerned. But he was the first person I ever watched live. And, I'm looking at all our text messages right now. When he went off air, he shared his phone number with me. And, he sent to me on March 10th, which was a Friday. Hope you're doing good, Nicole. Love to see you progressing in your journey and continue to spread good vibes and keep positive energy. So he sent me some beautiful messages over the time. And I already told you about my chapter, Mike. I'm sorry. But I wanted to call him out on this because, it's definitely about collaboration. His show ended. I could have just moved on. He could have just moved on. He did not know me as well as he knew the majority of his people, because I came on that live show very late. And he heard me on his show, and that made a big difference in my life. A big difference that he chose to continue supporting me, even though he himself is not here. So, you might think I'm just saying hi to someone every couple of weeks, and you don't know what you're actually doing for that person. You actually are really helping someone to go into the direction of their dreams and to believe in themselves. Well, like all these ladies.
Yeah, look, I I'm glad you went off subject because again, it little acts of kindness, little yeah, and how I met Gabe, Gabe, right? I just turned my camera on and he's like, "Hey, do you need some help?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help." Like, if all those random little events didn't add up, y'all wouldn't be here right now. Like,
Yeah.
or at least half of y'all wouldn't be here, or a big number wouldn't be. And so I just want people to know that even though things look mundane, maybe you showed up to a couple lives, nothing happened in the moment, no one reached back out to you, you didn't get a client. Don't be so short-sighted, man. These are things sometimes that accumulate behind the shadows, and all of a sudden, it's just things just happen. I'm like, and again, because I had somebody coming to the Hounds, and they were like, "Did you tell everybody to buy my book?" Yeah, I said, "Hell no, I'm not anybody's daddy. I ain't tell nobody to buy anything. What do you mean?" So apparently, everybody just swarmed out and bought this book. I just put the right people. Listen, it's simple. If you want a book on how to motivate or relate to somebody or learn something, who are you going to buy a book from? Some rando you don't know, or somebody who's got your back all day long and helps you out at least a little bit? That's an easy answer, right? So that's what this is about. So, ladies, I'm gonna open it up, but I want to pick on Supermom because she came ready today. She had a script and took the show over. All right, so Supermom, all right, what was the hardest part about this chapter in this? Because you write your own books. So, is this the first
Mhm.
time you collaborated like this in this type of book? And was it
Mm-mm.
easy or was it hard?
Yeah, this is not the first time, and I think it was very easy because I have way too much content. I can write all the time, I think, but I think the one thing is the fear that you have for yourself. What are people going to think? We create more problems in our head than we do anywhere else, and so this is why I think, if you're nervous about writing, doing it with another set of authors is so important. I was a part of my first anthology during the pandemic. And so it was released the year of the pandemic. And I was the only contributor from the United States. And so I think one of the things is just getting it out there, getting with a group of people that you resonate with, that are like minded, and just doing it. Just take the leap and do it. Don't second guess, just go with it. And uh, Misty has done a great job of creating a community. She has a Facebook group. She made it very important for us to come together as a group and have meetings and discuss about certain topics. She kept us well informed the whole journey. And so again, it was seamless. I felt like I didn't do any work. And I think that's what a collaboration is supposed to be. You know, you're supposed to work smarter, not harder. And you do that when you learn to let go of the things that you're not good at, but stick to what the things you are good at.
Yeah, and that's great. Collaboration, right? It's supposed to
Mhm.
be smarter, not harder. If you're
Mhm.
collaborating and it gets harder, you're doing something wrong. Got somebody. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm, maybe I'm there. I don't know. So let me ask that to. Let me kick that back, and we'll get back to Paul. Paul had a good question. Um, but Nicole, I would ask you what the hardest part was, but this is your first go. So you were excited, and then you had what, about a week to make this to reality, and then something else happened. So take us upon your journey from when the day that you found out I can do this to, oh crap, this is I got 7 days to do all this, and then the other thing that happened, like you had challenge after challenge in a very short amount of time. Walk us through that,
Yeah.
brief us through it, and tell us how you were feeling about it and how they helped you.
Uh, um, I got off the show and I was really upset because I meant to call Misty Lee right away. And something popped up and I couldn't. So I called her like 24 hours later and I was thinking, oh my God, please don't rescind the offer. And I think we must have spoken for like 2 hours. Misty, I don't know if you care if we shared a story about the dimes, but a really good friend of mine passed away from cancer. And she believed that every time you saw a dime, somebody in heaven was thinking about you. So over the time, she collected so many dimes that when my son graduated, she gave him the jar. It was $30 worth of dimes. Okay. So ever since my mom passed, the same thing's been happening. I see dimes. Misty Lee and I were chatting about that, and she said, I live remote. Nobody comes here. I'm not even left here for 60 days. My son was here. I went tidying up his room, and there was change on the ground. There were dimes all over the ground. I am like, both of us were like, so she and I both have this like woo thing with us and the telling signs. It happened just when, I put myself out there, like you said, in December, started talking about my stories. I wanted to write. I wanted to find a way to do it. And then all of a sudden this happened. So this was like, everything just kept happening one after the other. It was like every opportunity just lined up for me. I was just like, holy crap, blown away. So there was no way that I was going to say no. And yeah, I had a week. She said, well, it was 3 months ago, and everybody gets their support from me where they get to talk to me every week. I have a live reel. Every week every week now after that, I would go on and she would be talking about, well, here's where we're at, here's what's happening. And I didn't have any of the back history. So I sat down literally a Saturday morning, wrote my chapter in like a few hours, and sent it to her. And it was really funny, and I'll say this too. When the book went to Amazon, you can see her notes at the bottom to me, and a few people saw it and said, well, what? And she wrote, Nicole, this was really very good. And, she said, maybe this here or that there, or put that sentence there. And at first I was freaking out. I was like, Miss Lily, what the hell? Why are you know, I really was. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. And then I thought, you know what? When she had spoke to me, she said, listen, this is the way it works. We'll edit. Don't worry about it. If you have heavy edits, I usually put a phone call in first, kind of ease you in, because you're going to come back with all these lines. I had 4 sentences, so I thought to myself right there and then, I don't care who saw it at the end, because that shows people that she took somebody who is not an experienced writer, who is full of hope and courage and wants to put herself out there, and believed in me, read my work, felt my story. And I even said to her, Miss Tilly, I know this is a little disjointed. Like, she said, no, I love the fact that it's disjointed, 1. And 2, even though you have 4 single sentences at the top, right? And then you wrote, she said, I'm going to leave it that way, even though we don't typically publish that way, because it's you. So
Yeah. Wow.
for me, the hard wasn't there, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, oh, I love it. No, I get it because well, think about the leadership you just described too. It
Hmm.
is amazing to me that, and I'm not talking about you, all right, specifically, so don't yell at me. But like somebody saw me, some successful guy, 15 years ago, saw crusty butt me, was not attractive at all to anybody. Seriously, man, I was like the Slim Shady of pretty much
Right.
college, right? It was not good. Um, so yeah, but how do they see that? Like, so Misty Lee's looking around going, I want someone to be a chapter. And then she sees somebody like this who don't even write. And like, hey, that's my person. And they don't know the words. I reflect back on this happily because this is me and Sia. Sia's like, where's your write up, dude? I'm like, what's a write up, dude? She's like, oh, Lord have mercy. Like, could you find somebody who, have you even seen a movie? Have you been to Blockbuster when you were 8, Mike? No, that's me. So I think it says something for the leadership and the heart. But I also kind of I got this, and I want you all to I'm gonna spoil it for you. With Misty Lee, I think she has done what I've done. See, I'm always trying to find Oprah and Joe Rogan before they're Oprah and Joe Rogan. I think she's doing the same stuff. Where she's out there going, "Hey, I'm identifying like really great people before they become famous. I'll help them get there." Hey, I've been doing that for 16 months. You see it paying off. All right. So what to the leadership portion, and let's go. Rochelle's been quiet. Let's go pick on her for the leadership portion of all these things, and you help Supermom, so you coordinate, you lead a lot of stuff, you got a lot of your own stuff. What do you like about most? Do you when you're starting a project, do you rather work with experienced, seasoned people, or the newbies like me and Nicole over there that don't have a clue? Like, what gets you most excited? Be honest.
For me, it doesn't really matter. I think it's the vibe. If you vibe with someone, it doesn't matter what experience or a lot of experience they have. It's the vibe. And it's working together. It's that collaboration and finding the things that make things work. In this book, everything worked because Misty led kind of the gamut off she was going, and everybody just followed suit. And it was just so beautiful. And even in our collaboration, I think again, it's just listening and being open to everybody's ideas. So it doesn't really matter. I think it's being open to listen and to take people's information in and work together. That's my
Hey,
opinion.
did you see what I did? I threw the softball. You knocked it out of the park. Look at that. See, she's a pro. She's a pro. Oh my goodness. I knew she was gonna land. If I asked Nicole that, I would be getting a phone call. Why would you ask me such crazy questions, Mike? But see, you're good at it. So Nicole, we know I pick on you, but you're fantastic. You have overcome so much,
Hmm.
and you're here, and they love you. They don't treat you like a newbie either. So how
No,
about that? Did they treat you like you didn't know what was happening, or did you feel like Arthur? Speak to that.
not in the least bit. Miss Celia and I, she was always there if I had a question. I'm like, do you ever not sleep? Um, I certainly did not feel that way. And I have to share this because I think that it past the writing of the book, we definitely, we've become such friends. We end our calls with "I love you," and I damn well know I love her, and I don't care. This summer, somehow, I am going to Arkansas, and I have to go on my writing retreat with her because this is definitely not the last thing I'm publishing, and I know that she and I are going to do great things together. Who knows? I might compile a book, but anyway. Um, she said to me, listen, I want you to write this down. I am a powerful content creator. And she did the same. And I think that day after that, we just kind of expanded on that and everything just grew exponentially. And I am now a part of a wonderful group of authors who are mainly Facebook. And I actually will be doing a LinkedIn one-on-one class with them shortly, just helping them pretty much, dive into LinkedIn and learn all about this. And of course, I have to tell them about the fantastic community I'm a part of. And you see, just one little opportunity has just gone, and there's now opportunities everywhere. So Mr. Lee is like my sister from Arkansas. Did I answer the question? I don't even know what the hell the question was. Sorry.
Yeah, no, who cares? It was a good answer. Hell, that's all I care about.
I love it,
I don't know
Nicole.
what the question was.
Look, I'm just like Misty Lee. I'm just running around just finding people to help. If it'll work itself out. I do that. I don't make a show topic and try to find people and make it happen. I find people I like, try to build a show around them. That's something that will spotlight them, bring out who they are, that kind of stuff. So on that note, I love people that don't have experience when I train them. Like if I'm gonna hire somebody, so like content creation. That's good. That's Nicole. I can't wait to train her up because y'all saw my content. Like when every now and then I have good original content, y'all know that ain't me, right? Like I didn't wake up one morning and polish that crap. That was Sia, or sometimes it will be Nicole. Nicole's been in there, and I think this is guys. She didn't wonder and wait and act like a weirdo. She said, "Hey, if I send you," she actually just sent me some content and some graphics. I just posted them. She didn't even ask. She just sent them to me. And she texted me too. Hey, by the way, I sent that. And I'm like, how can I say no? Like that is exactly what I encourage people to do every day. Like just go out there. And she does it with such just courage. You can't tell her no. Right. So what do you this show's about leadership and passion and collaboration. This ain't really about a book. Um Supermom, you gotta be chomping at the bit. Bring something up. Bring
Well,
talk about
I'm really a fan of Nicole because, just in hearing what she's saying, she just went out there. And, one of the things that I say is it's not how much you do, but it's that you do something. So, in this case, if she didn't make a comment on a post, that's how easy it is, just making a comment. You never know how that can change your life, and, as a mom and as somebody who's busy doing a lot of things, there's a lot of moms that think that their comments don't matter. Just something as simple as that. But when you put yourself out there, there's an energy that goes with it, and it will attract what you really want. So I don't want to gloss over that because that's important. There's a lot of people that just do a like instead of sharing what their voice is. And it's so important to realize that, what you say matters. So that's one of the things I want to say about that.
I think that's absolutely true. I know I've talked with Misty a few times about this, and we talk a lot about, creating what you want to see in your future. And I feel like a lot of people here, it's in the back of your head and you're thinking about it and you're thinking about it and you start to write it. And then you're like, oh, I really want that. And then it just shows up. And it's whether or not you're paying attention to that opportunity. And if you are, then you take that leap of faith and you see where you land. And that's, I think, the best thing is really paying attention, because every time you think about something, it creates that wave of energy, goes out there, and it brings the people that need to support you to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mike,
Yeah,
if you don't mind, I wanted to say real quick about Nicole being very humble. We had an author that pulled out of our book about 48 hours prior to the upload, and she was also going to provide a service for the book. And so I just called Nicole and I said, this is a skill you said you have. And she said, well, I can do it. And so she took an opportunity to collaborate on a project, which will help her in the future with us. We'll be able to collaborate. So she was very, and it's what Miss Supermom just said. She was willing to say yes and to not question her ability. She knew she was ready for the job. And she said yes to an opportunity that came at the last moment, which will now lead to a lot of opportunities in the future. So like what you said, just taking the opportunities, don't shy away and wait for everything to be just perfect. And, and I love the baby steps too. So all of that, everything there just made me very warm and fuzzy, all put together.
Oh, I love it. No. Hey, let me make her blush even more. So
No.
I know. So she got off my show, told me that thing, like, oh my gosh, I got to do like 800 things. And I'm like, so what the hell are you hanging around here for? Like, it's 9:00. Go do those, right? And she did. She all night long got up, went to work with a knee and all this. And she makes it look easy. So we're gonna sing your praises, because you can sit there and be modest all you want to, but I know like what tremendous courage and time and exhaustion. So go ahead, cry a little bit. Your husband, he supported you like no other. That's important. I'm not going to get off on that. But I'm telling you, we could have a show. We should probably have a series of shows. If you don't have a supportive spouse, oh,
Mhm.
sweet Jesus. But if you do have a supportive spouse, what the hell are you waiting for? Like you got the lottery ticket here. Go do something. Do it together. But yeah, Supermom, I'm gonna knock that in your court because if I try that without, I'll get beat up. You know I will. So I know, I need my guard dog with me. So um, let me close on this because you all are just. Here's what I want. I wanted to put you all on here, have fun, get people to know you, like I know you a little bit. Then go look at the book, go find a way in. You all do so many things, man. Supermom's got like 8 million shows. I mean, come on. So reach out, watch a show, reach out, ask questions. And if you're in the audience, here's a good way to get somebody's attention. Go back on the pre-records. All right. So after this show, go back and watch it. All right. Then respond to people real time. You know what that does? I mean, all right, so if you walk around with stinky breath and your stomach's growling and somebody offers you a stick of gum, that's a nice person, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what happens when you come in here and comment, and when you go out there in nighttime and people go, wow, they see the notifications. The next day they see this, it makes them feel special. All right. And it encourages dialogue, right? Ask a question, right? Like Nicole likes questions and she lives on them. So, oh yeah. So here's the question. I'm gonna ask the final question. I'm gonna start off with Nicole. Nicole, woo. All right. So in 4 weeks, you're already to become a writer. So maybe you can crush and do a Nobel Peace Prize or some kind of craziness in 3 months. But on that note, what is your plan for the future as a writer? Where do you see yourself now, and how has it changed from this opportunity?
You mean other than getting on Saturday Night Live with you next week?
Yeah, buddy, we should already be on there. Yeah. Besides that, what is your future like? What do you plan on, and how much more excited are you?
Well, I continue to have my full-time job at Island Elevator, which I love. But
Hmm.
part-time, and hopefully this will move into full-time. I am launching my own business. It is called the Gifted Bipolar Writer, writing from two minds and two hearts. And as you said, I'm putting myself out there as a content writer. I've already started sharing graphics with a few of my friends. And, I really want to make this about somebody feeling the value, but also understanding that what I do for them, I'm just their hands. That's all I am. So I'll put it out there to everyone now. If you are interested in a graphic from me and a little piece, come right on through. I am not charging. The first one's always on me. Put it up there, see what kind of reactions you get, see what kind of engagements you get, and see if it's a good fit for you. So I don't want anybody like coming in and, you need to feel that this is right for you. So that's definitely happening. And I hope to be doing some work with the Hounds as well. And definitely, I think Mr. Lee and I are working on where the next book is going. And hopefully, I would be able to put down that I'm the compiler of that book. So
Absolutely.
that's my future.
Yeah, I'm looking to put you to work. Again, it's not that we just want clients to help grow on LinkedIn, do sales, build a business. What you and I want is to make sure we understand what
Hmm.
that person needs, who
Right.
they are, showcase that, spotlight that, make sure that brand is saw like a rotisserie chicken for what it is, the full version of that person. That's what's
Hmm.
important to us. So when you said, hey, could I maybe work with you? I was like, absolutely, absolutely, because
Yes.
very few people give that much of a crap. I do, and you do. So that's what makes us, because there's bunches of content creators. There's good people already trained, uh, but I chose you because I like your heart. I know where you're coming from, and I mean, hell, if Misty Lee wouldn't be here if you were bad to work with. I mean, obviously, you sound like a daggum godsend to work with. So, look, I lucked out. All right, so ladies, let's pick on Supermom. We just make her go. What is one piece of advice or encouragement? I always want to end and start with this. Someone
Mhm.
who is stuck, or someone who has given up on their dreams, or they just kind of like, it's silly, I'll never be able to do that. People told me no, I'm tired. What would you let it rip? How does somebody start getting back into living again?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is really taking some time to write down what you want, because we have a lot of things that are in our head. And even if you're accomplishing what you want to accomplish, you have so many things in your head that you could be going in a state of confusion, not able to prioritize what to do next. And so you end up not doing anything at all. So when
Mhm.
you first write things down, which is great advice from Misty, she's always keeping us in line with that. You're able to observe what it is that you want to do. When you get things on paper, you can see, is this realistic or unrealistic? And then you can make a choice on what would be the next best thing to do. And then also connecting with someone else. It is paramount usually to find somebody that can help you uh, come up with ideas. They can give you ways that you can get started small, because that's another thing. We dream big sometimes and we think that we can go move a mountain and we haven't even lifted a chair. Okay. So we think that we can do all these great things because we have that passion and adrenaline. But what happens is you go over there and then you might have some great thing, but you're not able to maintain it. So that is really something that a lot of us struggle with is, yeah, you can have that mountaintop experience, but you can't maintain it in a level that allows you to have harmony in your life. I mean, I just am speaking from
Right.
experience. I learned that the hard way.
No, I, I love it, man. And again, there's no fluff. There's no BS. Like it's just what it is. You've lived it, experienced it, and you're sharing it with others, man. That's what all these ladies are about, stand for. So yeah, get unstuck, unstick yourself, go do something. Dadgummit, and I'll go with you, especially if you're worried about looking stupid. Hell, that's that's my pastime, man. I'll go look stupid with you. I don't care. And again, I mean, most of the time, you don't look as stupid as you think. First of all,
Right.
and if you do, people got amnesia. I mean, really,
And
nobody cares
nobody's
that much.
looking. That's the thing. You know how you people are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go live. What's everybody going to think? And you don't have any viewers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't nobody
They
even
come
care.
back, they watch the
Uh,
replay. So that's where you get all the viewers. And by then you're way done doing what you were doing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, look, Brian Sagre was doing great. He did his ET voice, and everybody but me forgot about it, right? So, like, have more fun. Nobody cares
Hmm.
that much about what we're doing.
Yeah.
I've seen people say the dumbest stuff on LinkedIn tomorrow. Everybody got amnesia. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, you caught up
Hmm.
with what you're doing. Your dog ate your homework, blah blah. Not what was going on at Lachelle's house. So,
Hmm.
more courage, less thinking, more doing. All right.
Hmm.
Let's pick on Misty Lee. If she wants to go on this, what is your encouragement for somebody who, you know, they have good, not just excuses, but reasons, right? Good, legitimate reason. I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. What advice or encouragement for them to take a baby step, do something other than say no to themselves? What is it?
I love this question so much. So I am the full-time caregiver of a 27-year-old man who's a newborn baby. I care for him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I could easily use that as a real excuse not to do a lot of things. But that's where I learned writing. Whatever my frustration is, I write as if it is already corrected. So I will write that I have the perfect caregiver and I'm just running freely and building these businesses, because whatever my imagined limitation is, there's a solution for it. I just haven't come up with it. So if I'm ready for the next step, once that little piece is filled, somehow, some way, God or something's going to fix that. But if I'm always
Mhm.
writing over here past my illusion, then it'll take some of those excuses and alibis away. So I think I can't work because I have a son. I imagine what I would do if I didn't have him. And now suddenly I've found a way to support my family from home while caring for him. So my advice is whatever you think is your problem, write the story as if that's already solved and you don't need to know how it got solved. Just imagine it's already corrected. Once upon a time, I woke up, my problems were solved, and this is how I spent my day. And then you're ready to say yes when something comes on your path, because someone says, oh, I can solve that right now. You can publish in a book this week. You can say, oh, I can do that. you don't have to think about it. So that was a perfect example that she had excuses, but she was also ready. And so therefore the excuses came easily for her to pour out her. So that's my advice, right? Past your excuses, past your alibis, past your reasons, even if they're very legitimate.
Is it just me, or is that one of the most profound things anybody's ever heard? So write the story as if the problem was already solved, and then what would you do after? Am I the only one that went like, dang?
Well, Mike, we
it's like
did
a
a whole
spaceman.
book on it. Now what? The problem is already solved. Now what?
Right.
There you go. Go buy the book, because I mean, daggone. Wow. All right. So, right, okay, lady, you're up. Yeah. So
Rochelle?
I think you're trying to say
Rochelle?
Rochelle.
yeah, I'm messing with her because she's like, who are you talking to? You.
All good.
I'm just being goofy.
It's all good.
Hey,
No problem.
it's late. Nobody's watching anyway. All right, so that's a lie. They are watching. I just don't want you to be nervous. All right, so they're here because Supermom's here. So what is it that you want to encourage people with from your past or your present, some of your struggles? What is it that you want to tell people? Share with them.
So for me, I think the biggest thing that I like to share with people when they're stuck is to go back to when they were a child, where you had no inhibitions. You had no worry about who validated who you were, what you were doing. You had that imagination to become a astronaut, a space drive, a race car driver, whatever you wanted. You didn't care. And so you became it. You used to play house. You were the mom, you were the dad. If we go back to that childlike imagination where we can be whatever we want to be and do whatever we want to do, that's where the innocence, and that is where all of your imagination, all of your inspiration comes from. Because we get so caught up in society and all the things that go with it. Just go back to that place of innocence. That's what I would say. Start there.
I love it. I love it. That was good stuff. Look, that was after Misty Lee, man. That was a home run too. Y'all just pros. It's like watching Babe Ruth hit the ball to it. Babe Ruth is unbelievable. All right. So I love that because it's like, well, I want to be an astronaut. And somebody goes, no, you can't. Well, hell, somebody's an astronaut. Why not me? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, only 1% get in the NBA. Well, hell, who said I couldn't be the 1%? But why not? And again, I mean, what if I'm 98%? Well, I'm probably still going to make a lot of money playing in some Romanian damn league or something, right? Like, at least you're following your passion. That's what I'm so sick of. Well, you won't make it, so don't try. I mean, you reach for a star and you grab a tree branch. That's still higher. Most people won't even leave the ground, man. So, yeah, I'm loving what you're serving. Where can people find the book? What's the best place to go find it? And what's the final thought, Misty Lee? Lead us out.
Okay, well, the book is available on Amazon. I'll put the link in as soon as we come off the air. I'll go back in unless someone else can do it. But it's on Amazon. If you put in Now What and Misty Lee, it'll pull you up. And each one of the authors can also get you a signed and autographed copy if you want to order one directly from any of the authors that you see here or any of the authors that are in the book. And then, of course, you can find us at Campground TBD on Facebook for now until I get over to LinkedIn.
Yeah. Hey, bravo. So we want to see more of you on LinkedIn, man. I'm excited about that. Supermom is fantastic. I know she's got to put a kid to bed or something. So appreciate you staying late.
It's spring break, praise God. Spring break.
Yeah.
But they're in the background.
So you must have got that soundproof room like I've been telling you to get, because it's quiet in there. I'm proud of y'all. That is just all right. And Nicole,
She's got them all tied down.
We just Nicole blushed all night. She just can't handle it. It's all this gushing, but it's well deserved. I mean, again, and I don't say stuff I don't mean. What I've seen you go through the last 3 months has been incredible. And so hopefully you're writing that, even if it's just a 1 or 2 pager. I pay 10 cents to see it, a dime, right? So I'm listening. So ladies, I appreciate all of y'all. Let's collaborate. Let's get together. Lachelle, I'm so glad for some reason I'm catching most of your audios. I'm pouring Cheerios. I'm like, who's this? Yeah. And you're like, hey, Mike. I'm like, hang on a second. I'm eating Cheerios. I'm not ready to talk on this audio. So just go to Lachelle's stuff. She promotes other people's stuff. But ladies, you all are fun. We got to wrap this up. See you, Mike, already. We've been working hard. So without further ado, appreciate you all. Come back anytime. All right, ladies.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Mike. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. You put up with me. All right. So in closing, guys, I'm just going to say it. Lots of great stuff. We got Dallas. All right. So the Hounds will be live in Dallas with, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 5,000 people, whatever. I'm not in charge of the admission. But I am so pumped. I have been watching people for 15 months hang out without me. I'm sick of it. So can't wait to see it. Really can't wait to see Jody and Sia and my gosh, there's tons of them, man. And looking forward to it. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday, 7 p.m. All right, Eastern time. That's going to be a hoot. So much goofy content. You don't want to miss it. All right. And by the way, if you're looking for someone, not just to help grow on LinkedIn, you know, if you're looking to do business, you're wanting to, you know, really do things to the next level, relationship level. You know, maybe you're new to sales, maybe you're new to entrepreneurship, maybe you just don't know, you want to do something, but you just don't know what the hell it is. I might be your guy. All right. theprobusinessmechanic.com, shameless plug. Send me a message. Send me two if you really want to talk. All right. Because I'm backed up on the messages. And let's have a discussion. If I can't help you, I'll tell you that I probably know somebody who can help you. I had a client the other day, a prospect, and as she started talking, I said, I don't think I'm the guy for you. Really? I mean, she was ready to hire me, but I wasn't the best fit. All right. There was another style of LinkedIn growth and business coaching and sales that was a better fit for her. I do fit 95% of the other people, so I'm okay. But that was a different type of person, right? So I think that's what I want. If you're wanting to get unstuck, you're a corporate person, you're switching into entrepreneurship, or you're starting something, you're not too sure about social media sales, how to build, what it's about, call me, because that's what you could pay me to help you with, right? So let's get real. And if you don't, hey, man, I love to have great people on my show. I love to connect other people. Good things come back to me. That's what I care about. So good people, just reach out to these ladies, reach out to me, reach out to anybody in the comments. Just let's make it happen. More thinking, or I'm sorry, more doing, less thinking. All right. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I forgot which catchphrase that I had last week. That was good. Yeah, roll that beautiful bean footage. I don't know. Just roll the outro. I'll fix it next week. See ya. Be good. See you in Dallas next week. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.